What's up, guys? Welcome back. Oof. Welcome back, guys, to Underwater Astrology for the October 19th to October 26th, 2023 Underwater Astrology Report for all 12 zodiac signs, giving you the best horoscope from the bottom of the ocean, or should I say from the bottom of my heart. Sun in Libra this week, 25 degrees, and it enters Scorpio. So the Sun in Scorpio, the Sun goes into Scorpio October 24th. Woohoo for Scorpio. That will be a Tuesday. So the Sun goes into Scorpio. Mercury's in Libra, then Mercury goes into Scorpio as well, and that will be just 2 days before on the Sunday. Venus is in Virgo this week, entirely moving almost a degree a day, which means this is a great time for harvesting more love in more pragmatism, survivalist realm of the house we'll discuss in. And Mars is going strong in Scorpio. Remember, Pluto's out of retrograde. Uranus is still in retrograde. Jupiter is still in retrograde. And Neptune's still in retrograde. Well, Saturn goes direct November 4th. So just jot that down on your calendar. We are not too far from the Saturn direct. Woohoo! So let's go into the chart. For Aries rising, Sun is in Libra, transiting your 7th house. But as we get later into the week, as we get to October 24th, yes, the Sun does enter Scorpio into your 8th house. The Sun will then be in Scorpio from October 24th moving forward, transiting your 8th house. So I can see you guys working on relationship things and wrapping that up. Some serious lessons here. And then realizing, okay, yeah, like we do need to focus on intimate relationships and other people's resources by the end of the week. Mercury's in Libra, in fact, transiting your 7th house up until 2 days before the Sun goes into Scorpio, October 22nd. Then then Mercury goes into Scorpio. So you'll be focused on, the whole week will be a bit of focusing on relationships and then focusing on other people's resources and developing these relationships more. I can see this week as a bridge for Aries rising from business partnerships to then like for people getting jobs or getting new business partnerships or things going really well. Aries and Scorpio is in fact a square, so this energy is about spiritual growth here when the Sun does enter Scorpio, about other people's resources. Maybe you're learning something more. Maybe there still needs more contracts to be signed or some loose ends that need to be tightened up for you to really achieve what you're trying to achieve. Venus is in Virgo, the pragmatic survivalist Venus, and it's transiting your 6th house, telling me that you're getting really practical about how to utilize your time in your work environment and your health routine. Mars in Scorpio is transiting your 8th house here as well, so it's telling me that you're picking up energy on how to manifest more money here, and you're going strong. So maybe you don't see this energy recoup just in this Mars and Scorpio transit. By the time Mars does go into Sagittarius, you will see the light of day where all that Mars and Scorpio energy was applied. For Taurus rising, the Sun in Libra is transiting your 6th house this week, and then by the time we get further along in the week, the Sun does enter Scorpio October 24th, 2023, transiting your 7th house. So for the first half of the week, I could see you guys thinking about pragmatism with your work environment and your health routine. And then I can see a lot of you guys then working towards your partnerships towards later of the week. It's so important to realize that Mercury is in fact in Libra, transiting your 6th house. Then Mercury goes into Scorpio on this date, October 29, 2023, transiting your 7th house. On the 22nd, Mercury does enter Scorpio. So for a lot of you, you guys were thinking about the pragmatism of your work environment, and then very much the focus and perspective shifts into honing these relationships, claiming these relationships, and making something of it. Venus is in Virgo, the pragmatic survivalist, transiting your 5th house, telling me that you guys are going to have to do a lot of more pragmatic approach to your love life for some of you, to your inner child work for some of you, and for some of you, your creative process. If you have children, definitely give more love to them this week. Mars is in Scorpio, transiting your 7th house, telling me that there will just be so much energy for you to make your relationships seen, felt, and understood. But realize that when Mars in Scorpio, there's just a lot of energy going in one place. So when we get into Mars in Sagittarius, you can start seeing where those energies were applied. For Gemini rising, the sun is in Libra, transiting your 5th house at the start of the week. Then as we go later into the week, the sun does progress into Scorpio here October 24th, 2023, transiting your 6th house, telling me that you were focusing on love, inner child. For some of you, you had children, your creative process, and you guys were focusing on those aspects. As the sun does progress into your 6th house with Scorpio there, it's so important to realize the shift might not feel so fun and aloof as when the sun was in Libra. This will be grounding energy. Remember, the sun in Libra was trining Gemini rising. Now the sun's in Scorpio. So now we have the sun in conjunct Gemini rising, which is telling me a lot of you guys are going to just start to notice what is working in your health routine and what's not. Mercury is in fact in Libra, transiting your 5th house at the beginning of the week, but then Mercury goes into Scorpio October 22nd, 2023, transiting your 6th house, telling me the same kind of pattern. Early in the week, you'll feel your mind start to shift, and later in the week, then you'll feel your ego start to shift where Mercury is too. And that's really nice to have the sun and Mercury in the same placement. That shows that we're thinking and we're present with our ego. Venus is in Virgo, transiting your 4th house. The pragmatic survivalists, Venus in Virgo, transiting your 4th house, telling me you need to get practical about something in your soul tribe, something with your heightened intuition, and something with your family for you guys. Mars goes into Scorpio, transiting your 6th house. So Mars has been in Scorpio, starts off the week 5 degrees, ends the week 9 degrees, moving at a solid space. So you guys have the energy to be pragmatic about how you want to apply yourself in your work environment for some of you, for your home routine, and for your health. Cancer rising. The sun in Libra is transiting your 4th house. Sun goes into Scorpio later in the week, October 24th, 2023, transiting your 5th house. So again, a lot of you are going to feel this effect with the sun later in the week, transiting from 4th into 5th, focusing on home life, family, and then focusing on more like lighter topics like love, inner child, your creative process, and children if you have any. And also Mercury will be doing the same exact thing just a few days earlier. So Mercury, in fact, starts off in the beginning of the week, transiting Libra, but then it goes into Scorpio, October 22nd, transiting your 5th house. So the Mercury's in Libra, transiting your 4th house, here Cancer rising, and then Mercury's in Scorpio, transiting your 5th house by October 22nd, 2023. This is telling me that a lot of you guys are learning that it's so important to realize that when Mercury goes into Scorpio and the sun here as well, you guys are going to feel that trine to the Scorpio. You're going to feel that sextile to Scorpio. So Cancer is going to Cancer rising sextiles Scorpio. So there's going to be all this nice, good energy for you to get to where you need to get to with your love relationships, with your children, with your creative process, with your inner child work, because the energy is here, Cancer rising. We were just started off the week, Sun in Libra, Mercury in Libra. These were squares teaching you a lot of spiritual growth about heightened intuition. Libra season was teaching you about heightened intuition, teaching you about family, teaching you about soul tribe. Now, Venus in Virgo will be in Virgo this week, transiting your 3rd house, teaching you how to communicate, know your psyche, and know your siblings. Know these things, know your relationship to these things, that when things come up, you know exactly how to communicate with them. Mars is in Scorpio, transiting this week, transiting your 5th house, telling me you guys are learning how to just manifest more love into your life. For Leo rising, the sun in Libra. The week starts off with the sun in Libra, so that's a nice trine with Leo rising. Then the sun goes into Scorpio October 24th, 2023. So the sun starts off transiting your 3rd house, then the sun transits your 4th house when it goes into Scorpio. A lot of you will feel very like you can communicate, psyche, siblings, and feel like something beautiful is working out in the beginning of the week. During the later half of the week, you will start to feel that square with Leo and Scorpio, teaching you about the spiritual growth it will take to understand your heightened intuition, to understand your home life, and to understand your family. A lot of it's through understanding your emotions. Being the Leo rising that you are, it's going to take some time to really break down these emotions and see them for what they are. The same way the sun is acting, Mercury is acting too, but it's acting earlier in the week with Mercury transiting Libra, transiting your third house, Leo rising, and then Mercury goes into Scorpio October 22nd, transiting your fourth house. So it starts off a little bit lighter with communication, and then starts being like, yeah, I have to break down my emotions, I have to break down my relation to my family, my soul tribe, and I have to break down my heightened intuition, because the energy is pointing here. It's pointing to more spiritual growth as soon as the sun and Mercury transit Scorpio. Venus is semi-sextiling Leo rising, so Venus is transiting Virgo this week, transiting your second house, telling me that it's going to be about understanding how to feel aligned to your own fire, being a Leo rising, but also having a value system. You don't want to be spending energy on things that do not need so much focus. You have Virgo in your second house, your Leo rising, so it's about minimizing, being extremely minimal, and creating a solid value system. Mars is transiting Scorpio, transiting your fourth house, telling me it will be about the spiritual growth with your home life, family life, soul tribe, and heightened intuition. For Virgo rising, the sun in Libra is transiting your second house. The sun does eventually go into Scorpio October 24th, transiting your third house. Telling me at the beginning of the week, Virgo rising, you're having such an easier time valuing yourself. Even though it's a semi-sextile to Libra, you're still called to value yourself at the beginning of the week in some circumstances, but we get further along the week, you will start to communicate what you've learned in your values. Mercury is transiting Libra, transiting your second house at the beginning of the week, and then Mercury goes into Scorpio October 22nd, 2023, transiting your third house. Telling me that there's going to be some energy shift of where you were feeling like you were communicating about your value system. Now you really got to communicate, do short distance travel to implicate all the things you've learned during the Mercury and Libra transit. Venus, beautiful Venus in Virgo is transiting your first house. The pragmatic survivalist, teaching you how to get out, get seen for your progression, your soul development, your character development here. Mars is transiting Scorpio this entire week, telling me you're focused on communication, short distance travel, and siblings and your relationship to your psyche here, and you are figuring all that out, Virgo rising. Libra rising. The sun in Libra is transiting your first house. The sun does eventually go into Scorpio October 24th during the later half of the week, 2023, transiting your second house. So at the beginning of the week, you're thinking about your personality, how to be seen, felt, and understood. You have a lot of energy here on your ego and its development. But as soon as the sun goes into Scorpio, you're focused on your value system. October 24th, 2023. Mercury is also transiting your first house in the beginning of the week, and then it does go into Scorpio October 22nd, transiting your second house. So again, there will be this energy shift of you focusing on your personality, character development, soul development, and then all of a sudden you're focused on your value system. Venus, the pragmatic, beautiful Venus in Virgo, is transiting your 12th house this entire week, teaching you how to get pragmatic about those subconscious blocks, those things that are kind of keeping you in low energies, and learning how to work through them with more mindfulness, stillness, just appreciating things more, empowering things that you believe to be true on the internet, and fighting for causes that matter to you, Libra rising. Mars is transiting Scorpio this entire week, transiting your second house, teaching you how to create a better value system for yourself with your drive. For Scorpio rising, sun in Libra is transiting your 12th house. The sun is in Scorpio, then the sun is in Libra, transiting your 12th house. Then the sun does go into Scorpio October 24th, transiting your first house. So the week does start off with lower energy, and then as the week progresses, you do start to pick up on the sun progressing in your sign. Happy birthday, Scorpio. So you're going to feel that solar return of more energy, and you're going to feel a lot more present. Mercury starts off the week transiting Libra, transiting your 12th house. Then Mercury goes into Libra, transiting your first house by October 22nd, 2023, teaching you how to get out of the subconscious blocks into higher states of thinking by the time Mercury goes into Scorpio, October 22nd, transiting your first house. Venus, pragmatic Venus, is transiting Virgo this entire week, transiting your 11th house, teaching you how to be the pragmatic survivalist in your 11th house, teaching you all about ways that it's important to pragmatically implement your social circle here. Scorpio rising. Mars is in fact transiting. Yes, Mars is in fact transiting Scorpio, Mars is in fact transiting Scorpio, transiting your first house, telling me that you guys need to feel seen and understood by the end of the week somehow. You guys should create plans with people or do something with people you know so your energy is just understood. For Sagittarius rising, Sun in Libra is transiting your 11th house, but then the Sun does go into Scorpio, October 24th, transiting your 12th house. So you're going to start off being really balanced in your social groups, but then all of a sudden you're going to be more heavily focused on behind the scene work here. Sagittarius rising. Mercury is in Libra, transiting your 11th house. Then Mercury goes into Scorpio, October 22nd, transiting your 12th house. So for a lot of you, it's about understanding the justice and balance you bring to your social circles and groups, but then the focus and intention will go to your subconscious mind, working through those subconscious blocks so you can have more energy to feel seen and understood in those projects. You might need to be tweaking some of these projects that you're ready to release to the world. Here is Sagittarius rising. Venus is transiting the pragmatic survivalist of Virgo, the constellation of Virgo. So Venus is transiting the constellation of Virgo, the pragmatic survivalist, transiting your 10th house, which is telling me you guys are going to have more pragmatic realism to your career and public persona this week. So get excited for that. Mars is in Scorpio. Mars is transiting Scorpio this entire week, transiting your 12th house, telling me you guys might feel more retired. You know, you guys are going to feel more like you need to focus on your subconscious energy so that you can have more energy here. You're going to be focused on projects behind the scenes work again because the Sun, Mercury, and Mars will all be in Scorpio by the end of the week. Here at Sagittarius rising, transiting your 12th house, all to do with the subconscious mind and higher love. So I hope you guys find ways to work through those lower energies and find ways to empower people who are not as empowered as you are and fight for causes that are close to your heart. Capricorn rising, the Sun in Libra is transiting your 10th house. Sun goes into Scorpio. The Sun goes into Scorpio, October 24th, 2023, transiting your 11th house. Mercury's in Libra, transiting your 10th house at the beginning of the week. Then Mercury goes into Scorpio, October 22nd, transiting your 11th house, October 22nd, 2023. So Venus is also here in Virgo, transiting your 9th house, and Mars in Scorpio is transiting your 11th house. By the end of the week, Capricorn rising, your psyche will have been focused on your public persona,